Doctrine and Covenants 46 teaches us that the Lord gave us spiritual gifts so that we could avoid deception and so that all of his children can be profited thereby. The hope is that we will take these gifts that we've been given and make the world a better place. No matter what your sphere of influence is, no matter how small it is, as you move through this world and through your life, he hopes that you will take spiritual gifts and use them for good. That you'll seek after good gifts all the time and try to acquire as many as you can so you can do good among your fellow men. And there's a really simple way to teach this. Whether you're teaching spiritual gifts in the Doctrine and Covenants or in the Book of Mormon or in the New Testament, you want to make a loom. It's really easy, you guys. You've probably seen the technique before. It's a cardboard loom. So you're going to take the printable that I give you where it kind of lays out the lesson for you, and you're going to glue it onto a piece of cardboard. If I were you, I'd pick a thin piece of cardboard just so that you can cut it out with scissors easily. I just use like a cereal box thickness cardboard, and I glue the front piece of paper on it. I cut the slits, poked a hole. In fact, you can punch a hole with a hole punch on the printable, and then you want to kind of jab like a screw through the cardboard. Then you add the back piece so that you can line up the lines easily. The reason I like both pieces of the printable is the front one talks about the scriptures themselves, and it lists all the spiritual gifts that you often see in scriptures. The back has quotes about how there are countless other gifts. Because my hope is as your kids weave, they'll learn not just about the spiritual gifts that we see in these verses, but that there are so many others, and maybe get a chance to talk about some that they see in their classmates or in their family members as you weave. So you're going to start the class with the weaving technique. So give them their cardboard, let them pick 7 pieces of string. Just remember, the thicker the string that you choose, the faster the weave goes. So if you've got primary kids and you only have a limited amount of time, I would get a nice chunky yarn and then maybe cut the slits a little wider, because the thicker the yarn, the faster this little unity piece grows. For me, we used embroidery floss this time, which makes a really cute friendship bracelet style, but takes a little more time to do. So if you have young women that you're teaching or a seminary class, you want to go for this thinner, cuter string. But if you're working with younger kids, pick a nice fat string. You're just going to tie a knot on the back side and then weave these strings through the 7 holes. There's always an empty one. So the basic technique is simple. You're going to make sure that that empty slot is at the 6 o'clock on the clock. For me, it was always facing me right under my thumb. And basically all you're doing is you're counting up. So if this is my empty slot down here at 6 o'clock, I'm going to the 10 o'clock spot and I'm taking the string out of here and I'm bringing it down to the 6 o'clock spot. Then I move the loom so that that empty spot is now again at the 6 o'clock, and I do the same process over and over and over again. And over the course of time, you're going to kind of tug at this back bracelet that's forming. And as you pull it down, then you'll have more room to work with, and over time it forms. But the hope is that as your kids weave, because it'll take 10 minutes, 15 minutes. If they're doing the embroidery floss version, it might take half an hour. This would be a really good one to do at girls' camp, because your girls can do it like as they're talking or sitting around the campfire. And you're going to talk to them about the different spiritual gifts. Remember, their hands are busy, their hearts are invested, so they've got a lot of time on their hands to learn and to listen. So in the notes and on the printable, I walk you through the different spiritual gifts that are listed in Scripture so that you can kind of talk about, what is the gift of prophecy? What is the gift to believe on others' words? When have you seen the gift of miracles play out in your life? As they're weaving, they can talk about gifts. And then hopefully at the end, you can point out what happens underneath. That over the course of time, this is what happens to us. We become knit. Our hearts become knit as one, and you really can't tell whose gift contributed more. It doesn't matter anymore. It's all about what the result is, that we have strength and unity because of these varying spiritual gifts. So hopefully this will allow you to pull that off in a really simple, very hands-on way.